Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to replace the filters in this 3-stage water filter system. This is the water filter systems that I have in my house, in the kitchen, and it's under the sink filter set. The first thing you need to do is turn off the water. It's the cold water side, so just turn the knob clockwise to close the water, and then just test it for the water filter, turn it on and off, and there shouldn't be any water coming out. Next thing to do is bring out the water filter system so that you have access to it. This is the one that I have. I've had it for a couple of years. It's a 3-stage water filter system, so there are 3 components that I need to change in this 3-stage water filter system. I will put a link in the description of where you can buy the filters from. Another item that you may need is this wrench spanner handle to remove the water filter cartridge housing, which is that white bottom part. But before we remove the bottom water cartridge, I prefer to remove the inline filter, that is the top section. Remove that first, then remove the water cartridge in the bottom. So I'll start off with the left hand side first. So you just need to use the wrench, turn it anti-clockwise, and there you go. Just make sure you have a cloth just underneath this so that you can catch any water that is spilled. So I will show you the actual filter that I'll be replacing. So this is the carbon block filter, which is the part of the 2nd stage filter system. So you need to remove the actual filter, then just pour the water out. Inspect the black rubber ring, make sure it's not damaged. Once it's fully intact, you can still reuse it. Rinse the inside, there might be still some residue that is left. So rinse the cartridge holder and then also wipe it down dry. Just make sure the inside is also cleaned. Grab the new carbon block filter. This is how it looks like. This is the one that I purchased. Just remove the wrapping and then just slide it inside. Slide it inside. There's only one way it can go. Just make sure it's centered correctly and positioned. Now you just have to put it back. So position the thread and then twist it clockwise until it's tight. You may want to use the wrench again to tighten it, but for now just hand tighten it as hard as you can, and then just use the wrench if you have to. Now we'll go to the right hand side. So for this side I'm going to show you how to remove it without using the wrench, and all you need to do is use a little bit of force and just turn it anti-clockwise. Once it's loose, just keep removing it by hand. Keep turning it anti-clockwise and you'll be able to remove it. Once again, there will be some water leakage. This is how the sediment filter looks like. So the sediment filter is the 1st stage of the water filter system. Just remove that. And once again, pour the water out and just clean the inside. Just inspect the rubber ring again. Once it's all clean and dry, all you have to do is put in the new sediment filter and then just tighten back in. So this is the new sediment filter. This is the brand that I use. There are many brands, so just pick the one that you prefer to use. I don't think there is any big differences. Just put it in the middle again, make sure it fits and sits right, and then put it back into the thread. Just turn it clockwise until it's fully tight. You can use the wrench to tighten it. Just make sure it's tight so that you don't get any water leaks. You don't want to have any water leaks, otherwise it's going to damage your cupboard. Now we're going to move on to the inline filter system, which is this top part. And all you have to do is, there's 2 pipes on each side. The best thing to do is, if you grab the new one, just make sure it's exactly the same orientation where the logo is located. Instead of doing it this way, it has to be the same position. So this is the right way, and just match and make sure that it is exactly the same position. So in my case, the USA logo on the right hand side. So I'm going to start off with removing the pipe on the right hand side, which is the color blue in this particular case. It may be different on your system. It might get a bit tricky, but you just have to turn maybe each side slowly. Once you removed one end, and here we go, I've removed the blue side. There will be some water leakage, just make sure you wipe it later on. Now I'm going to remove the left hand side, and there we go. So that's the old one. So you've got the new one. Just remove the blue tabs, and I'll start off with the right hand side. So once again, that's where the logo is, the USA logo. So connect that up first, and then you can just keep tightening it. You don't have to have it fully tight yet. So once that's done, do the other side. Remove that blue tab. There we go. Remove the blue tab, and now do the left hand side, which is the white pipe. Just keep turning it until it's tight. Once you've got both of them in, you can try to hand tighten it as hard as you can. Just make sure that it's fully tight, as you don't want to have any leaks. There we go. So both sides are now tight. Just have to place it back into the holder at the top and reposition the cables so that they're not in the way. Just clip it in. Just gotta push it down, and then if you like, just twist the inline filter, and there you go. Just make sure that all the cables are not in the way. The next step is to turn the water back on. So turn it anti-clockwise, and you can probably start hearing the water going into the water filter. Just like that. So give it a couple of minutes to just fill up. Once that's done, all you need to do is run the water through the water filter system for a couple of minutes. In my particular case, I ran it for about 5 to 10 minutes. Once again, I'll put the link in the description of where to buy the products from. If this video helped you in any way, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.